For Unit 6, we're looking at something called the floss pattern. And let's take a look at the board right away. So the floss pattern is all about one-syllable words with a short vowel sound that end in the letters F, L, S, or Z should have the final consonant doubled. So some examples might be the word stiff, okay, or the word bill, the word grass, and the word frizz. There are only a handful of words that end in a double Z, but we are going to include those in the words for this unit because it is part of this pattern. So sometimes the reason it's called floss pattern is because the word floss contains the letters F, L, and S, and then the S is doubled at the end because floss is a floss pattern word. Sometimes teachers will call it the flossy pattern, and that's to incorporate the Z. But whatever you call it, this is the pattern that we're going to explain to the students. Okay. So it's pretty straightforward. Again, one syllable word with a short vowel sound, single vowel, followed by the letters F, L, S, or Z. That final consonant should be doubled. However, there are definitely some exceptions. So let's quickly address those because it will come up for sure. So here are a couple of common ones. Gas, bus, and yes. Okay, starting with those, here's the reason that these do not follow this pattern. For these two, gas and bus, that's because this is part of a larger word, the word gasoline. And when we shorten it to gas, we just retain the original spelling. The same is true for bus because bus is shortened from omnibus. So again, we are just retaining the original spelling. For the word yes, the word yes was originally spelled this way in Old English when it was first developed, and so that has continued to retain its spelling. The other type of exception that we're going to see are words like is and has and was. Okay, and the reason that these are exceptions, here's how we can tell, is that when the letter S is making a Z sound, like in is, has, and was, we do not double the final S. So there is some rhyme and reason to the exceptions to the floss pattern. So, for sure, that's something that you can explain to students if they're curious about exceptions. And then otherwise, we go ahead and we can teach the pattern as written. And once again, remember that we have our instructions below the card so that you can get that information as you're teaching the lesson. All right, so we'll wrap up with that and then move on to lesson number 7.